you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. The present is theirs. The future, for which I have really worked, is mine. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries in its existence. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. Of all things, I liked books the best. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. Be alone. That is the secret of invention. Be alone. That is when ideas are born. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. Let the future tell the truth, and elevate each one according to his work and accomplishments. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully and all the more triumphantly from the struggle. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. We crave for new sensations, but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today common occurrences. Invention is the most important product of man's creative brain. The ultimate purpose is the complete mastery of mind over the material world, the harnessing of human nature to human needs. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe. What one man calls God, another calls the laws of physics. The individual is ephemeral. Races and nations come and pass, but man remains. The gift of mental power comes from God, being divine. And if we concentrate our minds on that truth, we become in tune with this great power. You may live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. From great moments are born great opportunity. It's not the love you make, it's the love you give. So astounding are the facts in this connection that it would seem as though the Creator himself had electrically designed this planet. Inventors don't have time for marriage. Most certainly, some planets are not inhabited, but others are, and among these there must exist life under all conditions and phases of development. Instinct is something which transcends knowledge. We have undoubtedly certain finer fibers that enable us to perceive truths when logical deduction or any other willful effort of the brain is futile. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. Though seemingly affected only by its immediate surrounding, the sphere of external influence extends to infinite distance. Most persons are so absorbed in the contemplation of the outside world that they are wholly oblivious to what is passing on within themselves. There is something within me that might be illusion, as it is often the case with young, delighted people, but I wonder if I would be fortunate to achieve some of my ideas, it would be on the behalf of the whole of humanity. The idea of atomic energy is illusory, but it has taken so powerful a hold in the minds that although I have preached against it for 25 years, there are still some who believe it to be realizable. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. It is the most important product of his creative brain. The carrying out into practice of a crude idea, as is being generally done, is, I hold, nothing but a waste of energy, money, and time. As I review the events of my past life, I realize how subtle are the influences that shape our destinies. It is not in the shallow physical imitation of men that women will ever assert first their equality and later their superiority. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment and merging of races, and we are still far from this blissful realization. When natural inclination develops into a passionate desire, one advances towards his goal in 7-league boots. One may feel a sudden wave of sadness and rake his brain for an explanation, when he might have noticed that it was caused by the cloud cutting off rays of the sun. Deficient observation is merely a form of ignorance and responsible for the many morbid notions and foolish ideas prevailing. My project was beyond the laws of nature. The world was not prepared for it. It was too far ahead of time. But the same laws will prevail in the end and make it a triumphant success. I had admired the works of artists, but to my mind, they were only shadows and semblances. The inventor, I thought, gives to the world creations which are palpable, which live and work. Instinct is something which transcends knowledge. We have undoubtedly certain finer fibers that enable us to perceive truths when logical deduction or any other willful effort of the brain is futile. Finally, I recognized that I was but an automaton devoid of free will in thought and action, and merely responsible to the forces of the environment. Merciless is the law of nature, and rapidly and irresistibly we are drawn to our doom. My belief is firm in a law of compensation. The true rewards are ever in proportion to the labor and sacrifices made. I am credited with being one of the hardest workers, and perhaps I am. If thought is the equivalent of labor, for I have devoted to it almost all of my waking hours. There is scarcely a subject that cannot be mathematically treated, and the effects calculated for the results determined beforehand. Everyone should consider their body a priceless gift from the one he loves above all, a marvelous work of art, of indescribable beauty and mystery beyond human conception, and so delicate that a word, a breath, a look, even a thought may injure it.